I'm speaking with Simon Harding from Harding Wealth Management. Simon, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Graeme. It's lovely to be here.
What brought you to Australia in the first place?
Well, I was working for a financial advisory firm in West London, and I met my now wife, who's from Adelaide. And as our relationship progressed and we decided to get married, within a heartbeat we decided to relocate to Australia for a lifestyle choice. Kim is from Adelaide, so it seemed a natural fit with all her friends and family based here to locate ourselves in South Australia.
Were you a financial planner in the UK?
Yes, I became a financial planner straight from university when I graduated in 1990. I quickly trained as a pension transfer specialist, which is a protected phrase in the UK for advisors who have the Level 4 diploma and a G60 or AF3 pensions qualification. So wherever I worked for a practice, I was the designated pension transfer specialist, so I spent the 20 years in the UK advising clients whether or not it was in their best interest to move from a defined benefit to a defined contribution, and even scheme trustees whether they should set their schemes up as defined contributions or defined benefits. So it's something that I did throughout my time in the UK.
How have you adapted to the Australian financial system?
Well, it took a while. It took me a number of months to learn how to stop writing pound signs and writing dollars. Despite the fact being in the top 5% of qualified advisors in the UK, I was naturally needing to retrain in the Australian system, which was perfectly fine. So within 6 to 8 weeks I'd passed the diploma level, and then a further 8 weeks I moved on to the advanced diploma. But that still didn't seem enough to me, so I've gone through the ranks of qualifications in Australia so that I'm now a certified financial planner, which is currently the highest award available.
How do Australia and the UK compare in terms of retirement planning?
Well, they're very different really. The UK, the pension scheme, so we only use the phrase pension, is an untaxed environment. So if one was a 40% taxpayer, if you put £60 into your pension fund, HMRC, the tax office, would add your tax back in. So for every 60 pence put in, £1 would go in. The fund would then grow completely tax-free, and then when you get to retirement, 25% of the fund is released tax-free, and 75% will always be taxed at your marginal rate. In Australia, it's kind of the reverse of that, so the contributions are concessionally taxed at 15% ordinarily, and the income from the fund is also taxed by the ATO at 15%, but when you come to retirement and you meet the preservation age and the conditions of release, the income that you can have from the fund is completely tax-free. So it's a strange way of looking at it. But if you can move your UK fund that has grown completely tax-free into the Australian superannuation system before you retire, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the largest tax haven on the planet.
So tell me, Simon, why is your service so special?
Well, there's a number of areas that we feel that we offer special service. One is, of course, the subject matter. You know, we are talking about pension transfers, UK pension transfers to Australia. So I'm qualified to certified financial planner status in the UK, and I hold the relevant qualifications. Another thing that I think is special about us is that we take a very personalised view to the advice. It's not just throwing out templates. I actually sit down and write bespoke, tailor-made reports for clients, and I ensure that the advice they're given is absolutely in their best interest, whether to retain the UK or to transfer to Australia.
What should a client look for when seeking advice around the UK pension?
Yeah, that's a difficult one, Graeme, because when I first arrived here, I had really no intention of continuing that level of advice. But I looked around the market to see what advice systems were being offered, and it was confusing to me, and I know what to look for. So on the website, I've put a page together called the 3 key facts. One is your advisor who's advising you about UK pensions qualified in that arena? The second one is your advisor based in Australia? We're getting a lot of market feedback at the moment of advisors based in Dubai or Hong Kong flying in, doing presentations and then flying out again to see clients. Your advisor must be regulated through the Australian financial services system. They must have an ASIC number, and they must have a tax practitioner board number. Without those, you really shouldn't talk to the advisor at all. And the third area is are you being given advice, or are you really paying for an administration system? You know, you may feel that it's in your interest to move to Australia, but hold fire, get advice. Is it in the best interest? Are you getting the optimum tax outcome? And what's the best way of doing it for you? So those three key areas, which I labour on my website, are really important, actually.
Some people would say, look, I prefer to work with a larger corporation than yours. What advantages do you offer that they can't?
Well, I understand that, you know, but ultimately you're only ever dealing with one advisor, so it's kind of referring you back to the previous answer. Is the advisor you're talking to qualified to actually discuss the subject matter? Are they qualified in the UK on UK pensions? I have built around me the team of preferred partners, experts in their field, consulting actuaries, barristers, cross-border accountants. So the package that we put together, not only is it me as an advisor who with certified financial planner status in both the UK and in Australia, but also a team of experts in their field, and that one would like to think would give much more of a corporate feel to our service offering.
What is it you really enjoy about your role and your lifestyle?
Well, it's kind of altruistic, really. I didn't come to Australia to continue to be a pension transfer specialist, but I feel that I needed to look after both expats and returning Australians who have built up UK pension rights. So I get a lot of good feelings about looking after people, making sure they're getting the correct advice for the situation they're in. I enjoy the fact that we work throughout Australia, hearing people's stories, how they became to Australia, how what their life is like, how they're enjoying it, and the trials and tribulations of migration. It fascinates me. And the final bit, of course, is our own lifestyle. We now live on the beach. I travel through the vineyards every day to my office, and we have a very nice lifestyle dealing with this level of advice. It's beautiful.
Certainly is. Simon, finally, what advice would you have to someone who says, look, I want to do something more, what is my next step?
Well, we offer, rather than download an ebook, we actually offer a 15-minute consultation with me on the phone. So please look at the website, contact us through email or telephone, and book in a 15-minute session. Be handy if you have your statement, so we know exactly what style of pension fund you're talking about. And let's have a review, see if we can offer you help, and if we can, how we can then progress forward.
Simon, good to talk to you.
And you, Graeme, thank you.
I've been speaking with Simon Harding from Harding Wealth Management.